The company worth billions that tanked, the Enron scandal, rise, illusion, and collapse. America's most spectacular business lie. In the late 1990s, Enron was the envy of corporate America. It was praised as the most innovative company in the United States, a Wall Street darling that seemed to have cracked the code of modern capitalism. From energy trading to broadband, from finance to infrastructure, Enron claimed it could transform any industry it touched. Executives were treated like visionaries, analysts applauded every move, and employees believed they were building the future. But behind the glass towers and glowing headlines was a carefully constructed illusion. Enron's profits were often fictional, its growth was fueled by accounting tricks, and its culture rewarded deception over truth. When the illusion finally collapsed in 2001, it erased over $60 billion in market value, destroyed thousands of jobs, and exposed deep flaws in corporate governance, auditing, and Wall Street itself. This is the story of how Enron rose, how it fooled the world, and how it fell. Chapter 1: The Birth of Enron. Enron was born in 1985 from the merger of two natural gas pipeline companies, Houston Natural Gas and Internorth. At the center of the deal was Kenneth Lay, a former government economist who believed deeply in deregulation and free markets. Lay saw the merger not just as a cost-saving move, but as the foundation for something much bigger, a company that could dominate a newly deregulated energy landscape. At the time, energy companies were still largely conservative and asset-heavy, focused on owning pipelines, power plants, and long-term supply contracts. Enron initially followed this model, earning steady but unremarkable profits. Yet even in these early years, Lay was pushing a larger vision. Enron would not merely transport energy, it would trade it, speculate on it, and turn it into a financial product. This vision depended heavily on deregulation, particularly in natural gas markets. As government controls loosened, price volatility increased, and volatility meant opportunity. Enron positioned itself to profit not from stability, but from constant movement, laying the groundwork for a company that would eventually resemble a Wall Street trading firm more than a traditional utility. Chapter 2: The Rise of Jeff Skilling and a Radical Idea. In 1990, Enron hired Jeff Skilling, a brilliant but intensely driven former McKinsey consultant. Skilling believed traditional energy companies were dinosaurs, weighed down by physical assets and slow growth. His idea was radical. Enron should function like a financial institution, acting as a middleman for energy trades rather than a producer. Skilling's most transformative contribution was the adoption of mark-to-market accounting. Under this system, Enron could book the estimated lifetime profits of a deal the moment it was signed. On paper, this made Enron instantly profitable, even if the actual cash would not arrive for years or never arrive at all. While the practice was legal under certain conditions, it relied heavily on assumptions and internal estimates. This created enormous temptation to inflate projections. Over time, mark-to-market accounting became less a reporting tool and more a weapon, used to smooth earnings, hide failures, and maintain the illusion of unstoppable growth. Chapter 3: Wall Street Falls in Love. Throughout the 1990s, Enron's reported earnings climbed steadily, and Wall Street responded with enthusiasm. Analysts praised the company's innovation, often admitting they did not fully understand how Enron made its money, but trusting that management did. The stock price soared as Enron repositioned itself as a technology-driven trading firm rather than an energy company. This rebranding was crucial. Tech companies were rewarded for potential rather than profits, and Enron learned to sell its story better than almost anyone. Business magazines regularly named Enron America's most innovative company. Internally, executives pointed to the stock price as proof of success. Externally, skepticism faded, replaced by blind faith in complexity and confidence. Chapter 4: A Culture of Pressure and Fear. Inside Enron, the corporate culture was intense and unforgiving. Employees were ranked annually under a system known as rank and yank, where the lowest performers were fired regardless of effort or context. Survival depended on appearing successful. This environment rewarded short-term gains over long-term thinking. Employees learned quickly that delivering good news, any way possible, was valued more than honesty. Ethical concerns were often dismissed as weakness. Over time, fear replaced accountability. Risk-taking was celebrated, while failure was hidden. This culture did not merely allow fraud, it encouraged it. Chapter 5: special purpose entities, and hidden debt. As Enron expanded aggressively, it accumulated enormous debt. To keep that debt off its balance sheet, executives relied on special purpose entities, or SPEs, complex partnerships designed to isolate financial risk. In theory, SPEs were legitimate financial tools. In practice, Enron abused them. The company secretly controlled many of these entities while claiming they were independent, allowing billions in losses to vanish from official financial statements. This deception created the illusion of financial health while masking deep structural problems. Investors saw profits. Behind the scenes, Enron was drowning in obligations it could no longer manage. Chapter 6. Andrew Fasto's Financial Maze. Chief Financial Officer Andrew Fasto became the architect of Enron's most dangerous schemes. He created partnerships such as LJM and the Raptors, specifically designed to hide losses and protect Enron's stock price. These deals were deeply conflicted. Fasto personally managed the partnerships and profited from them, even as they served Enron's accounting needs. This was a stunning violation of corporate governance principles. The structures relied heavily on Enron's stock continuing to rise. When the stock faltered, the entire system began to collapse, exposing the fragility of Fasto's financial engineering. Chapter 7. Enron Online and the Illusion of Infinite Growth. In 1999, Enron launched Enron Online, a digital marketplace that allowed users to trade energy contracts instantly. The platform was hailed as revolutionary and quickly processed billions of dollars in transactions. While revenues exploded on paper, actual profits remained thin. The platform emphasized volume over value, inflating Enron's importance without strengthening its financial foundation. Still, Wall Street was captivated. Enron Online reinforced the narrative that the company was not just an energy firm, but a tech pioneer reshaping global markets. Chapter 8. Expansion into everything. Buoyed by its reputation, Enron expanded into broadband, water utilities, and massive international power projects. Many of these ventures were poorly executed and financially disastrous. Instead of acknowledging failure, Enron doubled down. Losses were hidden through accounting maneuvers, while executives promoted each new initiative as the next big breakthrough. The company became dangerously overstretched, juggling dozens of failing projects while pretending to be endlessly profitable. Chapter 9. Warning Signs and Silenced Voices. By 2001, Enron's financial statements had become nearly impossible to decipher. Some analysts began quietly expressing concern, noting inconsistencies and unexplained profits. Inside the company, fear grew. Sharon Watkins, a vice president, warned Kenneth Lay that Enron risked collapsing in an accounting scandal. Her memo outlined many of the company's dangerous practices. Leadership failed to act decisively. Rather than confront the truth, executives focused on maintaining appearances. Chapter 10. The Unraveling Begins. In mid-2001, Enron announced unexpected losses and quietly reversed prior earnings. The market reacted immediately, sending the stock price downward. As the stock fell, Enron's accounting structures unraveled. SPEs that depended on high share prices collapsed, forcing Enron to recognize losses it had hidden for years. Confidence evaporated, and what had once seemed unshakable now appeared dangerously fragile. Chapter 11. The Role of Arthur Andersen. Arthur Andersen, Enron's auditor, was responsible for validating the company's financial statements. Despite glaring red flags, the firm repeatedly approved Enron's accounting practices. As investigations began, it emerged that Andersen employees had destroyed key documents related to Enron audits. This revelation shattered trust in one of the world's most respected accounting firms. The scandal ultimately led to Andersen's collapse, proving that Enron's deception had consequences far beyond one company. Chapter 12. Panic and Bankruptcy. By late 2001, Enron was in full panic. Credit agencies downgraded its debt, trading partners severed ties, and liquidity vanished almost overnight. Employees watched their retirement accounts evaporate as Enron's stock collapsed. Many had been encouraged to invest heavily in company shares. On December 2, 2001, Enron filed for bankruptcy protection, marking the largest corporate collapse in U.S. history at the time. Chapter 13. Aftermath and Legal Consequences. The fallout was swift. Jeff Skilling was convicted on multiple counts of fraud and conspiracy and sentenced to prison. Andrew Fastow pleaded guilty and cooperated with prosecutors. Kenneth Lay died before his trial, leaving unanswered questions about accountability. Thousands of employees lost jobs, savings, and trust in corporate leadership. The scandal became a symbol of unchecked executive power and systemic failure. Chapter 14: How Enron Changed America. The Enron scandal triggered a reckoning across corporate America. Investors demanded transparency, and lawmakers responded with sweeping reforms. The Sarbanes-Oxley Act imposed stricter rules on accounting, auditing, and executive responsibility. While controversial, it aimed to prevent another Enron. Enron permanently altered how corporations, auditors, and regulators operate. Conclusion: the cost of corporate arrogance. Enron did not collapse because of one bad decision, but because of a culture that valued image over integrity. It showed how intelligence and innovation, when paired with greed and ego, can become dangerous. More than 2 decades later, Enron remains a cautionary tale, a reminder that when profits are disconnected from reality, the truth eventually comes due.